How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. It's been a little while since I've made a video. I'm definitely aware of that. As you can see me like looking around and checking my things here, I'm like, am I doing it right? Like it feels weird, but also super fun to be making another video. So glad to be here. I have had all kinds of crazy things happening. Like my internet just like died out. Long story on that. I'll save you on it. Various other things have kept me from making content on YouTube. I've been hardcore making content on our Discord, but trying to make it on YouTube has been very tough. So I am back to making videos. I'm gonna hopefully get back into regular uploads. Here we go. On that note, I would like to invite you to let me know what kind of content you'd like to see, especially if it's related to flipping, stuff like that. Before you ask, I do have the old school RuneScape stuff coming, but as it probably sounds, it has been pushed back a little bit. It's still on its way though, don't worry, that's coming. And I feel like I've been saying that forever. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on this video because I want to try and not make this video too long. I want to show you guys literally how I earned like pretty close to 10 billion in like the last 2.5 days. As the title says, I put 8 billion in the title because of the fact that that is how much I know for sure I made. I may have made a little bit more than that. I don't know. I didn't want to exaggerate over numbers or whatever. And also I didn't really count what I made today. It's mostly like Raksha release day and the day after Raksha. And yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I'm literally going to show you guys how I made that much money and kind of explain how you can do it too as we go along. So right here, you guys see this is one of my accounts. For starters, actually, before I jump in that, how I did it. So Raksha was released, and with many big game updates and releases, the prices of items will go all over the place. They'll go totally crazy, especially on a PVM update. Although I will say that this PVM update was like something special because in a lot of PVM updates that happen there, things don't go quite as crazy as this one. This one was just like absolutely nuts. Like it surprised me. So like I'm legitimately shocked at how crazy profitable it actually was. And how it really affected the market. But essentially what happened is melee gear like tanked hard, range gear skyrocketed, mage gear kind of couldn't figure out if it wanted to go up or down. But with all of that though, we also had like the brand new items come in the game, like the new codexes and everything. And so all of this stuff hit the Grand Exchange all at once. All those changes hitting the Grand Exchange all at once, it made some incredibly huge margins. So I was just flipping, essentially. Doing a lot of flipping, just constantly flipping, honestly. Yeah, just like all day flipping for like the Raksha release day. And the day after was like all day flipping with people in the Discord. It was awesome. I was posting all the prices I was finding and stuff like that in our flip chats. If you guys are not a member of our Discord, by the way, we have over 10,000 members in the RS3 Discord. Go in there and check it out if you want to get exact buy, exact sell prices. Support the channel in there as well. You literally, our members make an average of 1 to 3 billion per month. And some of them did that in just a couple days with Raksha release. So that was pretty awesome for them. I'm really happy about that for the members making a lot of money off of it too. But essentially, guys, just flipping. So let's go ahead and go through of it because obviously I can sit here and tell you, oh man, I was making this much on this and this much on this. But you know, it's a little bit cooler if I can show it to you, right? So my histories right here are pretty much the histories of like, probably from the second day of release. So like Raksha's actually release date is not going to be in here anymore because I was flipping the next day. So those things are going to be gone, obviously. The release date stuff was amazing. I'll kind of explain that as we go through here. But I'm going to show you guys 4 different accounts. Actually, I'm not sure if I'll show you all 4. I don't want to make this video like like an hour long. But anyway, I'm going to go through accounts and I'll show you guys flipping on them because I was using several different accounts to flip with, as I usually do when I'm actively flipping or inactively flipping. So as you can see right here, this Kopesh of Tumekin for selling for 510 million. I was actually buying those on the day of Raksha release. I was buying them for 430 to 435 as an instant buy sometimes, and then selling them for as high as 510 to as high as like 500 to 510. That is like an insane, like at times close to 100 million margin on just Kopesh of Tumekin. So if you're sitting over here and you're like, oh really? Like, how did you make like 8 billion in 2 days? Like Tumekin alone was a 100 million flip, or really close to 100 million flip. I mean, it didn't take that, it wasn't that hard to hit crazy numbers. Day one was easily 5 billion in profit. Double Surge Codex right here, as you see, I bought them for 56 million. I bought another one for 57 million, sold them 64 million. The next one sold for 62 million. So like we've got like anywhere from like 7 million margin right there to like 6 to like that's another like 6 million margin right there. It's the end of the day for me, so just kind of hold in there. So like 6 or 7 million margins on Double Surge Codex is crazy. That was considered basically a small margin throughout this entire thing because 6 or 7 million, yeah, cool and everything, but like wait till you guys see some of the numbers in here, man. It's nuts. This Kopesh of Elodinus, I know that I can't show you the buy because the fact that it's not on here, and oh my god, my nose itches really bad. 590 million was the sell here. I bought this for 555. I bought this for 555. I remember that because I had to sit there and keep on trying to find a buy for like forever, it seemed like. But then ended up flipping them for 45, or no, not quite 45, 35 million profit. Is just insane. 35 million profit on that, guys. All right, so let's go up a little bit more here. Let me show you some ones I can actually show you that I'm not just like, and I bought it for this much. As you see right here, bought the Imperium Core for 400. Okay, seriously, it's like really dusty in here. My bad. I moved around all kinds of stuff to make this video, and I feel like I just like filled the entire room with dust. 400.5 million on Imperium Core. Selling them for 414.7. That is pretty crazy. There's a 14.2 million margin on Imperium Core. Saren Godbow. So I want to say something about Saren Godbow as I show you here. As you can see, I got 1110 mil and then a sell at 1133. So that's a 23 million margin. That is actually a very small margin for Saren Godbow over those 2 days. This is actually when Saren Godbow started to die out. Because remember, like I said, how the fact that this was like day 2, so things not as good as day 1. Day 1, boy, 50 mil, 60 mil margins on Saren Godbow all day. Guys, I flip on 9 accounts at sometimes. That's 2 Saren Godbows per account. That is 100 to 120 million per 4 hours per account. One round of Saren Godbows is $1 billion profit. I mean, like, it's seriously, it's crazy. And I'm pretty sure some of the other accounts I'll show you actually will have bigger margins than this one right here. Because I think 23 million was like the smallest margin I got. It's not even that great, honestly, compared to what I got in the other ones. Erethdor's Grimoire. So I was actually buying these for cheaper and selling them for more on a different account. They were going for about 415, 420 to about 490. So that was a 70 million margin. But as you can see right here, this is still a 53 million margin, or 54. This is a 54 mil margin right here on this Erethdor's Grimoire. I never say the things out loud, so it's kind of crazy. 54 million margin, guys. I did it again, another 54 million margin, another 23 million on the Saren Godbow, as you can see. We bought this Eldritch Crossbow for 2040 and I sold it for 2049. I actually ended up getting bigger margins on this later, of about 20 million each flip, but initially my Eldritch Crossbows were not great on this day because I was just trying to find the price and it just would not buy or sell, so this was a crappy 9 million margin. Not that great. It definitely got better. As you can see right here, 426 to 478 on Erethdor's Grimoire as it just kept changing. I bought a couple more for 426. We'll end up here. I'll scroll up so I can see them. Their Erethdor Grimoire started to really drop a lot. So I ended up making 25 million a piece on those. Really good still. Once again, Eldritch Crossbow, 2041 to 2048. Not the best, but the margin just seemed to be closing hard on there. I don't really know what was going on with them at the time. They had just popped over 2 billion when I was flipping these things. And yeah, I went from 20 million margin to, on the day of release on Raksha, these suckers had like a 40 million margin constantly. It was wonderful. Let's see what we got here too. We've got the Zeros God Sword coming in at 7 million margin. Nothing crazy on that. That's pretty normal. It was pretty normal by day 2. It wasn't that nuts. These Divert Codexes doing them from 121 to 128 million was actually a lot better than it looks because they were moving so fast, like so fast. And the funny thing is too, is I tried selling them for like 131 or whatever and they just wouldn't move. I did get some sales on another account at 130, but just could not seem to get them for 131. I could not seem to buy them for less than 120 either. So like they did not want to budge over a 10 million margin. And then they started moving really quickly at this price after that margin died out. Okay, we're back on this account. This is another one of my alts, or sorry, this is one of my alts. The first account was actually my main account. Let's go ahead and jump in that history though, and I'll show you guys what happened on this account. So as we look right here, we've got buying Blast Diffusion boots for 61 million a piece and then selling them for 64. That's not great. But day one for Blast Diffusion boots, the big day obviously, was 56 million buy with a 75 million sale. Yes, I'm dead serious. A 19 million margin on day one. And these things would like buy and sell quickly. So crazy, like insane. That is a 38 million profit per buy limit. Absolutely mind-blowing, and I did not expect that on Blast Diffusion boots, but they were going crazy wild. Ice dies during this were moving super fast between 1280 and 1290. They actually ended up buying as low as 1270, so they end up so on here 10 million profit. They were 20 million profit. Pretty fantastic. The Ascension crossbows. This is from day two. Day two was not that great for Ascension crossbows. Actually, the margin was down to something like 4 or 5 million a piece, sometimes 3 million a piece. Not fantastic because day one of Raksha release, you could buy Ascension crossbows for 202 and sell them for 225. Insanity. 23 million on Ascension crossbows is just like blow my mind all over the keyboard. It was crazy, guys. Crazy. Buying this wand of the appraisal for 553 and selling them for 562 wasn't bad. Sometimes they sold for 565. Pretty good, solid margin overall. Obliterations were terrible. I just happened to have a whole bunch of them at the time and bought some more of them. I still have a whole bunch of obliterations. Just felt like telling you that. Looking right here, I bought Imperium cores for 395, selling them for 409. They later sold for 418, as you saw on the other account. Here we go. Here's what I'm talking about the Saren God bow. So right here with the Saren God bow, on this account, 1126. This is day two, 1126, and then selling them for 1170. That is close to a 50 mil margin right there. Like I said, day one was 50 or 60 million the whole day. This was still like a close to 50 million margin on day two. Absolutely insanity. I would tell you honestly that like Saren God bow probably made up like, I don't know, 30% of all the money I made in the 2 days, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like it was insane how much money that made. Tumekin was the MVP. Even on day two, Tumekin was good. 490 million on the buy, 510 million on the sale. Probably could have stretched that sale even more, but it probably would have been like 1 or 2 million. And this stuff was already taking a long time to sell, so I just really didn't feel like pushing it, to be honest with you, because if things take too long to move during times like this, it's kind of detrimental to go for that extra 1 or 2 million stretch. And the reason why is just because that slot could be making you so much money. Stick a Saren Godbow in there, 50 million profit a piece. On two of those, 100 million gold. Am I going to chase 2 million on a Tumekin when I can make 100 million on a Saren Godbow if I don't have that Tumekin in there? No. I'm going to get that Tumekin out of there and put Saren Godbow back in there. So also looking through here, we got Seismic Singularity was fantastic. MVP both days. Both days these bad boys are going for something around 185 to 200. It was in between those two numbers all day, both days. Oh, absolutely fantastic, guys. So even right here though, that's like a 12 million margin. Glorious. Seismic Wand, not so great there. I flipped them for the fun of it, not so great. Shadow Die, yeah, let's go up here. Once again, on the Saren Godbows, this is the point where they started getting to that 20 million profit range right there. I got more 10 million Wand of the Appraisals and some more stuff over here. Let's go ahead and jump on the next account, guys. See you in a second. Alright guys, this is going to be the last account, but I think this might be the most interesting. I don't want to go through all the accounts. That would be like the longest video in the history of RuneScape. But anyway, let's look at this one. I think this one's going to be really interesting because I can tell right away by looking at this account that I have not logged into this one since day one, I think. And the reason why is because Eredith's Grimoire is in here selling for 289 million. As you could see from the other accounts, this is quite a bit lower. That's because Eredith's Grimoire did not really jump up until a couple days after Raksha came out. So Raksha's, or sorry, Grimoire, Grimoire was actually going for considerably less. So if I was to have just stocked up on Grimoires and then sold them the next day, I would have made absolute bonk, but that did not happen, unfortunately. As you can see right here, these off fans didn't buy either, although they were buying at 700 to 702 or whatever around this time. Then they just stopped buying for even up to 707. But anyway, the most interesting thing on this front page is the fact this Aerodeath Grimoire was right here. Also, take a look at this Eldritch Crossbow. As you can see right here, 1910 on day one. And then, as you can see on my first account that I showed you, over 2 billion. Once again, if I would have bought those, some good money right there. All right, let's go ahead and look at the sale history though, and let's see what's interesting in here. I actually want to look in the very beginning though for this Aerodeath Grimoire to see what I was making at the time. So it looks like I was buying them for 271-ish and then selling them for something close to 300. As you can see right here, this one is 290. Yeah, I guess they were sliding down toward the end, but as you can see, they were a solid close to 30 million margin on Aerodeath Grimoire for quite a bit. I remember these were moving very quickly at this price too. Realistically, probably should have stretched it a little bit more, but as you can see, I was slowly increasing my offer or decreasing it, one of the two. And the sale kept on going down. Kept on going down at the same time. So I don't know if I could have stretched it much more. But let's look in the very beginning here. Cinderbane gloves, I want to talk about these for just a quick second. Cinderbane gloves, people couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with Cinderbane gloves, and you could obviously tell by the Grand Exchange. They kept on going down, but then they would have like a big fat margin from people trying to buy them still. So I was like constantly buying them at 61-ish and then selling them for right around 64-ish for like the entire second day. Getting a 3 million margin on Cinderbane gloves was actually pretty fantastic because you could buy 2 per 4 hours, and these bad boys were moving so fast, it was stupid. I mean, like stupid. You would complete the entire flip in like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes. It was crazy good money. For that, like, yeah, 3 or 4 million doesn't sound like that much, or like a buy limit of, a total buy limit of being like 6 to 8 million doesn't sound like too much, but when you move it that fast, it becomes much. Exact same story of Dragon Rider Lance, same size margin, same quick movement. It was pretty amazing. Blightbound Crossbow, the main hand was actually like the bane of my existence on the second day because I just could not figure out what the hell to sell them for. Blightbound Crossbow, I ended up buying these for 880 and selling them for 890 basically. A 10 million margin was, I know this margin was not as good as it was. I know that someone out there was getting better margins on main hands. I know that day one, like right when Raksha came out, the main hand crossbow was like a 50 mil plus margin, just like the other weapons. But on day two, boy, I just could not figure out, at least I'm assuming this was day two. Day two, I just could not figure out how to make them have a bigger margin than 10 million. It just seemed like they just wouldn't do it. I let them sit there for like 3 hours. Just stuff would not move. So I can't, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. Sliske though, Sliske was 736 and selling for 744. Pretty fantastic. No idea what that noise was. But anyways, this was pretty fantastic because it was moving very quickly. I was really happy about that. Once again, the seismic singularity also going between that 185 to 200 range. Fantastic the whole time. These blast diffusion boots bought at 61. They sold at 64. Yeah, I don't know. The margin really died in those day two, man. And I was hoping to get it again, so I kept on trying them. Just never really happened. Nox Scythe buying in at 270 and then selling at 274. For a long time, these Nox Scythes were down to like 265 and then selling them for like 271. They had like 6 mil margins. Oftentimes had 5 million margins, eventually came down to like 3 or 4 million margins, but overall very fast. They were pretty fantastic. I bought Pterosaur Mauls at 520 on this account, and we sold them at 535. So a solid 15 million margin on Pterosaur Mauls. You can buy 2 per 4 hours, which means that was 30 million profit in every buy limit. Pretty glorious. These bone pipes. So I actually bought these upgraded bone pipes. You won't see the buy in here, I don't think. Nope, you won't see the buy in here, but I bought them for 38 and sold them for 45. A very good margin on these, just simply because of the fact these are very rare and no one really, not a lot of people buy these. So I just really banked on the fact that they're super rare and sold them for a pretty considerable margin considering how much they actually cost. Buying an item for 38 and then being able to make 7 million profit on it is crazy. That is a very, very fat margin on an item that size. So I was very happy about it. Going up here, guys, you'll see a lot of the same stuff right here. We've got the 397 Bion Imperium Core selling for 415 and stuff like that. The main reason why you'll see a lot of repeating things about the exact same item or exact same price is because I will do the exact same item across all accounts usually, and in that way it's very easy to keep track of. As I said, I flip with several accounts at the same time when I'm actively flipping or really inactively flipping. So in order to be able to do something like that, like it is very hard to keep track of and would be a huge headache if I had different items in every single one of my accounts. That would just be a nightmare. So I personally keep it very simple by, if I'm going to be doing a pterosaur mall at 520 buy, I'll put all of my accounts buying a pterosaur mall at 520. This is usually though after I have discovered the working price on one account. So if you want to do something like I've done right here, which you can still do it by the way, at the time of this video going out, these prices are still crazy. Like, not as crazy obviously, but they're still really good. Sarah Godbow right now, right this very second, 20 million margin, and you might be able to get more, who knows. So definitely go out there and try to get it. I was doing like the chain codex, the divert codex, oh my god, Ricochet, for like 50 million margins on the day of release. So actually Ricochet was a lot more than 50 million margins, but chain and divert and stuff like that were like a solid 50 million flip. But if you want to be able to do stuff like this, what I recommend doing is have your one account that you've got, finding the accurate prices. So doing your testing and everything on that one account. Once you get the accurate prices, just do that on the rest of your accounts. It's very easy to keep track of. It's not confusing. It's not a headache. It's actually pretty enjoyable. And if you're someone that's sitting over here like, oh, having multiple accounts, man, like, how do I do that? It's really not that difficult. It's really not that difficult, guys. Once you get yourself to the point where you've got a decent amount of gold to flip with, then you can just take that gold, put it on a new account, and then have that account buy membership. That may sound expensive, and it kind of is expensive in the very beginning because you have to buy the bonds for the account. But the thing is, though, is if you're flipping on those two different accounts, you will pay for the price of bonds pretty quickly, most likely in your first day. And so at that point, they are very self-sufficient, and it's really not that hard to do. You can just continue that process of being able to keep profiting on those two accounts, and then once you get to a certain amount again, make your third account. And then repeat, pay for its bonds and blah, 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 and then keep on going on and on and on and on. That's the reason why I flip with up to 9 accounts. Obviously, you don't need to do that, and I personally don't really want to do more than 9 accounts. That doesn't sound fun. I also really can't fit more than 9 accounts comfortably on my screens without just being a super annoying thing. So anyway, this was supposed to be a very informative and deep video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you watched the entire video, then please put down in the below that my favorite pet is Winston the turtle from Runescape. It really is. It's my favorite pet in the game. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Hopefully you'll still return. Hit that subscribe button if you have not. Join our Discord down below. Over 10,000 members. Love to have you guys in there. All the prices like this, by the way, are posted in the Discord. So if you want to use them and get the exact prices, I'll be like, yo, buy Arios Grimoire 273, sell it for 294. You literally just punch it and make money. It's as easy as that. Like, I'll do all the hard work for you guys. But anyway, I'll see you next video. Have a good one.